In a small valley called Riverstone Valley, there stood a mountain unlike any other. For generations, the people who lived there had looked at that mountain every morning. It was tall. It was silent. It was covered with green trees and wild flowers. But there was one thing about the mountain that nobody could explain. Every morning before sunrise, when the village was still quiet, the mountain seemed to breathe. A deep sound would come from beneath the ground. The earth would gently tremble. The trees would shake softly. And a warm mist would rise between the rocks, disappearing into the morning sky. The villagers called it the Breathing Mountain. But they did not see it as a wonder. They saw it as a warning. "Something is wrong with that mountain," people whispered. "One day it will bring disaster. God is warning us to leave this place." Fear slowly grew in the hearts of the people. But among them lived a man named Daniel. Daniel was a humble farmer who had lived near the mountain his whole life. He did not ignore what was happening. He heard the sounds. He felt the ground move. But instead of fear, he felt something else. Question: what if we are afraid because we do not understand? Daniel had learned this from his grandfather Elias. When Daniel was a young boy, he once asked, "Grandfather, why does the mountain breathe?" The old man looked toward the mountain and smiled. "My son, not everything that moves is a threat. Sometimes movement means something is being prepared." Daniel never forgot those words. Years passed. The mountain continued. Every morning, deep sound, a gentle shaking, a cloud of mist rising into the air. Many families packed their belongings and left the valley. They told Daniel, "You are stubborn. You are holding on to a place that is trying to warn you. You will regret staying." Daniel watched them leave. Some days he wondered if they were right. Some nights, he sat outside his home looking at the mountain. "Lord," he prayed, "I do not understand what is happening, but help me trust you." The seasons became harder. The river that supplied the village began to dry. The fields became weaker. The people who remained struggled. Some blamed the mountain. "If we had left earlier, this would not have happened," they said. Daniel continued praying. But even his faith was tested. One evening, he sat beside his wife Anna outside their home. "Anna," he said quietly, "what if everyone was right? What if I misunderstood?" Anna looked at him gently. "Daniel, faith does not mean we understand everything. Faith means we trust God even when we cannot see what He is doing." Then came the morning nobody expected. The mountain was louder than ever before. The ground shook. Birds flew from the trees. People ran outside in fear. "The mountain is breaking," they shouted. "Leave before it is too late." The villagers looked toward the mountain, expecting destruction. But then something unexpected happened. A small stream of clear water appeared between the rocks. The water flowed down the mountain. Slowly, peacefully, fresh. People stood in silence. The mountain they feared was not bringing destruction. It was releasing life. Days passed. The water grew stronger. The dry fields began receiving water again. Small plants appeared where the ground had once been empty. The valley began to change. The same mountain people wanted to escape from became the reason life returned. Families who had left came back. They looked at Daniel with tears in their eyes. "We were afraid of what God was preparing." Daniel smiled. "We saw the shaking, but we did not see the blessing underneath." Years later, children gathered around Daniel beside the fire. They loved hearing the story of the mountain. One child asked, "Daniel, why did the mountain breathe?" Daniel looked toward the mountain in the distance. He smiled. "Because something was growing beneath the surface." The children looked confused. Daniel continued, "Many years ago, people thought the mountain was a sign that something bad was coming. But God was preparing a source of life that the valley had never seen before." That evening, as the fire slowly burned, Daniel looked at the mountain. He remembered all the years of questions, all the fear, all the waiting, and he understood something. Sometimes God allows things to shake before He brings something new. Sometimes what looks like a warning is actually preparation. Sometimes the season that makes us afraid is the very place where God is creating a blessing. Daniel whispered, "Lord, thank you for teaching us not to fear what we do not understand." And from that day forward, whenever the people of Riverstone Valley heard the mountain breathe, they no longer ran away. They listened, because they had learned. God can be working beneath the surface long before we see the blessing appear.
Thank you for spending this time by the fire. Until next time, keep the fire of faith burning